Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Vorty. I am going to be talking a little bit about the new units, but before I do jump into talking about the new units, I actually wanted to do a quick thank you and tell you guys, all of you who have subscribed and are continuing to view my content. I'm very excited that you guys actually like my stuff, and I'm very happy that we have grown exponentially in literally a month and a bit of activity, which is very encouraging for myself. I just wanted to come out there and say thank you so much. I'll probably make a video kind of just, really talking about that more in depth, but I wanted to say that as soon as possible out there. I might be saying it across a bunch of videos to just kind of show my gratitude, because I don't want to seem like I'm not grateful. I'm extremely excited and very happy that you guys actually like the content I create and you guys keep coming back to view it, and it seems to be mostly positive feedback, so that's pretty good too, okay? So, again, just thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I'm happy about all of this, and just please continue to give me feedback and comments and letting me know what you guys like and what you guys don't like, and I'll try my best to try and meet those demands so that as many people are happy. Okay, so I'm trying my best. Okay, cool. Anyways, now let me go back into my persona. Okay, all right. So as you guys have known, I posted a video regarding Furion and Maria's they're 6-star and they've changed and stuff like that. Plus we've got a new banner, etc. So the maintenance finished. So we got some maintenance here, known issues and stuff like that they've gone through. Level at which unit abilities are unlocked doesn't show on the UI, but this is something that we've been having for a little while, which is UI problems. So as far as this goes, there's nothing else worth mentioning. The event now is technically set up and ready to go live Friday morning, which is going to be tomorrow, so we'll definitely hit that up. And then the units as well have been uploaded into the system. So far I figured this would be a typo, but the maintenance is up and that doesn't show an update here, which means that this is what they meant, because see here they say updated when they change stuff, like updated. Right here there's no updated, and it's been a day. So I'm pretty certain that this was an intended boost. Again, granted, till the banner comes out tomorrow, that could definitely change. I wouldn't be surprised what Gumi will do regarding Emperor's TM, because if this does stay, this is definitely going to be an incredibly powerful TM, because the next best item towards those is, for example, he's wearing the wizard rod. You get 72 from being able to just go out there and beat the challenge. Okay, Lilith's rod was from like an event that just came by. It's only 60 magic. The other one, as far as a TM goes, is from Arc. Arc is his, I think, is like 90 or something. Let's see, we'll just give it a quick swoop through here. If we can find Arc, then there he is. Perfect, that was nice and easy. So this is what that thing is competing against. It's competing with a 91 magic. Alright? That is a huge leap in difference from the item. This is its competitor. So if it stays at 129, this is its only other competitor. Alright? So the leap is huge, and that makes it the best caster item out there, no doubts, no questions. Even if it was at 109, it's still gonna be the best one, but this one really throws it out there and says like no competitors, no like there's no way you can compete. So just so you guys know, that is its thing. And I almost had his thing farmed out, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna farm it out right now. I might end up farming it because I'm probably not gonna get Emperor, knowing my luck. But anyways, so I just wanted to show you that's not happening. Like it doesn't look like they're updating it. Alright, so the next thingamajiggy here, what I'm going to show you guys is we're going to go talk about the units, which is what this video is about. First, I've seen people in the comment section being like, oh, I wonder how he got there or where you're finding these things. FFBE Reddit. Alright, so FFBE Reddit, you can click on units here, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. I click on Final Fantasy Brave Reddit. So since we are out here, shout out to these guys and shout out to the Reddit boys and girls who are continuously updating Reddit and helping the community grow. I will go here. On the left here, it says Wiki. Go to Units, Index. And here are all our units, okay? So these are all the units, English and JP. So it's everything, alright? So there's different ways of doing it. You can scroll down till you find the image of the unit and you click on it. Or you can press Control F to have the little window up here pop up, which is the control find. So in here, I can start typing out like Furion, right? So as I'm typing it out, it's highlighting it here. Oh, look, there's Furion. So what I've already done is I've already actually opened up all the unit slots, and we're just going to kind of jump through them. I just wanted to show you how I find the units when there's an update. I'll come up here and I'll take a look at them right away. The other way you can do it is normally in Reddit. If you go to like their home, which is the page I was on, normally if it's something really important, you gotta literally find it under here. It'll say like a global update or global whatever. Like, say it says JP news enhancements, and it'll say like a global units update or whatever, or like maintenance update. And you can look through those to just see specific stuff towards that maintenance. All right. So let's jump into the units right away. So the first unit we're gonna look at, we're gonna kind of analyze and double check to see, you know, if he's worth it or not, is going to be Emperor. So granted, in the Japanese version, his TM was this, okay? So since he hasn't gone live, which will be going tomorrow, this will not reflect anything. So after the update and everything goes through, under here, it'll probably say in global, it's 129, if that does end up being the case, okay? So his job is Emperor. He's Trust Mastery is this crazy rod. Japanese version gives 19 attack, 109 magic, but in global it does the 129. So these are the materials. Everything stays the same here. He's got no resistances, inherited resistances from just being himself. As well, down here, he is limited in the type of items he can use. That's somewhat his downfall. And the reason why is, like, I'm thinking future builds, because he can't wear swords, so therefore he can't use letter and arms and stuff like that. He can't be using those TMs that can help boost his magic dramatically or drastically, whatever the word you want to use. So the capabilities for him are a little bit limited there because of the TM use you can use with it, plus weapons, right? Not saying that staffs and rods are not, you know, good or anything. Of course they are, especially because he's a caster. He definitely has the weapon range he needs. However, he is losing out on that sword buff if he had letter and arms, where you can make him dual wield 2 swords or whatever, and stacking and blah blah blah. So anyways, his gear is a little bit limited, but it is okay, and it's probably still functional for what he is supposed to be, which is going to be a magic damage dealer. Alright, so he has a magic affinity, whatever, same thing. He's got 4 slots at 5-star and 4 slots at 6-star. That's cool. His what do you call it? His limit burst is 270% AoE 7-hit wind magic damage attack, and AoE 3-turn minus 25% all resistances to all the targets that he hits. So that's a pretty good one. You know, you can debuff a whole group. If you need AoE something, you could actually cast this thing. He will do some wind damage. He will reduce their resistances, and then you can come back and have the rest of your mages cast their magic so that they do them. All right, so so that's pretty good. Again, I'm gonna apologize in advance if I'm a little bit coughing. I'm literally at the end of my roller coaster of feelings right now, so it's almost finished. But I might end up having little coughies, and I apologize if it's loud in your ear. All right, cool. So the magic he ends up covering is pretty much everything. He has Fireaga, Blizzaga, Thundaga, and Arrowaga, as well as he gets Flare. So those are the 3 magic spell. 3. Those are the 5. Yes, way to fail me, life. So he learns the magic that we are required. He's only missing Wateraga. Yeah, Wateraga, he's missing. Everything else he's pretty much got covered, which is pretty good. And it's the same thing like any other good caster. He's got 180% AoE, and it just hits everybody, and it does the element that it's, you know, coordinated with. He also does have Flare in his kit. It is 230% single target, fire magic damage, and then it reduces water resistance by 30%. Most of these, like Flare, Quake, Flood, and those kinds of spells, they end up dealing damage for their associated element, and then the opposing element to it, it'll reduce its resistance to it, right? So for this, if it's fire damage, it'll reduce water, right? And if it would be flood, it would be like lightning or whatever the opposing element would be. But yeah, so this is a pretty good spell. It's a pretty strong hit, like 230%. It's okay. It's not the best damage dealing ability, but yeah, you know, having it in your kit is all right. Okay, so his abilities. He's got an ability called I Will Not Die, where he recovers 10% MP per turn, which is actually really good. Normally it's 5%, right? So he's like, he really is the emperor. He's the big kahuna here. He's taking charge, and he is definitely just gonna do his bit. He doesn't care. So he gets 10%. And then his other ability here is called O Time Stop. So he's ordering the time to stop. So 30% chance for 3 turns to stop. It's single target cast. So that's alright. what does that say? Impertinent fools? Impotent, sorry. Should get a little bit closer to the screen so I can see it. Impotent fools. Decrease target decrease target chance by 1.75. So I guess this, oh, sorry, this is a passive. This is exactly like camouflage. Except camouflage is 25%, right? Yeah. So I guess 1.75% of what? So he gets a chance decreased of himself getting hit. So that's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, like, yeah, like camouflage gives you 25%, but it is a TM though, so I guess having that naturally in your kit's pretty good. He's got a buff here, which is called Rule. He does an AoE turn minus 40% spirit debuff and self 5 turn plus 60% spirit buff. So I'm not sure if this is a trend, because again, this is basically mostly based off of the JP version and how they translated it. Though most of the time it's very accurate. When I'm reading this and reading his like little post that we received the other day, it seems like he will debuff your whole party and then he will buff himself. So he debuffs your party and then buffs himself by 60%. So I don't really know. Like, I'm gonna have to wait till we get the English version of this to just double check, but that's what it seems like. It seems like it's either he debuffs the whole, like the group, like the enemy group, like AoE, but the way it's portrayed, it seems like he debuffs his party and buffs himself up, okay? So then he gets a 20% MP boost. Hey, boost, he gets a boost. 20% MP boost, which is great. I almost said it twice. Then he gets Hellfire ability, which is not that bad. It's actually a pretty good hit. 200% single target hit, fire, magic damage, attack, plus 200% each time used. So it keeps growing. So it's just like Dark Fina's ability, where the more she keeps using her, I can't think it was this phobia or whichever one it was. I don't have Dark Fina, so I don't know it. But she's got that ability where she casts it once. Then the next time she casts it, it'll get stronger, and the next time it'll get stronger. So this one gets stronger by 200% every single time. You can do it 10 times, but obviously it uses 25 MP, which is not that bad. So getting it up to the 10, man, that's pretty crazy. This guy can hit for what? 10 times 200, that's 2,000% damage? Like, blah! That's nuts, right? So assuming you got the MP, which you should be able to because you're getting MP recovery every time, you should be able to get a really, 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 really big hit going in there if you keep casting it. Especially if the target's weak to fire. This is going to be stupendous. Alright, so next one here. Give your offerings. Single target, 50% target, hit point damage, and self 100 MP recovery. Alright, so target, hit point damage. I'm not really sure what they're meaning by that. Is it a life drain? Maybe, oh it is. So it looks like you get hit points and MP back, perhaps, just by looking at the Japanese idea here. But the way it's converted here, it seems that it's just MP. So either or, like again, we'll have to double confirm this when the English version comes out and we get the actual wording for it. But right now it says that you get MP back for sure. If it's just MP, it's not that bad. MP drain, it's not that bad. You get a magic boost, 30%, nice. Very good, always a plus for any kind of caster. Dual black magic, this is what makes him stand out from all the other casters. Being able to cast his spells twice is always going to make him stand out there. So you can do double cast of Flare. However, you cannot double cast any of these abilities here, right? Then you get Rain. Rain is a self 5 turn, 100% magic, and AoE 5 turn minus 20% debuff. So again, I'm going to assume, just like the ability before that it is a debuff on your party of 20%, because he's the Emperor. He brings people down, and then he boosts himself up. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. That's what it seems like, based on how the translation is being brought to us. And even the name of it kind of says that, like, you know, he's like reigning over his subjects kind of thing, which could be your team. Again, another thing to check up on. If this is 100% buff for himself, and it's a debuff on the enemies, then this is an amazing ability. So that's pretty cool. So next you got here Starfire. He's gonna be his strongest hitting ability as of right now, comparing to Flare up there, but it's strongest ability. He gets 230% AoE, 1-hit magic attack, and it ignores 50% mind. This is a beauty. This is a definitely amazing ability. But again, it's pricey. It's 50 MP cost, and yeah, it's an ability, so you can't double cast it. So it's still really good. For those of you who are wondering, his enhancements are right here. His ability, Hellfire, ends up getting a pretty substantial boost, and you can stack it. As well as Rain will get a boost where it lasts for 11 turns instead of 5 turns, right? And like the debuff is also increased, how much he debuffs and stuff like that. So as well, I'm not gonna focus too much on the enhancements because there's no point. The enhancements are not relevant to the global version. As well, I'll take this time to kind of say that these enhancements are not live in global. Like, we don't have these yet. These are in the Japanese version of the game, and we were told we're going to end up getting everything that the Japanese version has, so we will eventually get these enhancements. Are they going to be exactly like this? We don't know. But it's just like how we've been comparing everything up to this point. Like, for example, Emperor's TM. We were assuming that when we got Emperor's TM is going to be 109, but as of right now, it's 129. So we don't know. There might be small changes and adjustments. So that is our Boar Emperor. How do I feel about him? I think his abilities are really good. Should you go ham on him? I don't know. Like, I didn't go ham on Dark Fina because the meta right now in the game is not very mage focused. You need mages now and then, but it's not very mage focused, so I don't really know. This is going to be a personal preference for you. Like, if I got him, I'd be very happy, but I'm not going to go Arm and Ham and Bacon Soda on this guy just because he is a mage, and I don't think they fit like a good niche yet where you're going to need a very, very powerful mage that can just go out there and carry your whole party unless all of a sudden everything is resistant to physical, right? So that's kind of the thing. So you have to play that role. If you have Dark Fina or X-Death, I think you're still good. Is he better than Dark Fina and X-Death? I would say yes, but if you have either of those two, like, I don't think you really need him. Unless you want to collect it, do your daily pulls, then yeah, go for it, okay? So we are done with Emperor. Next one here is Furion. We're actually not going to go too much into him because I already made a video talking about Furion and Maria on their review, so you can check that out in another video. I'm just going to make quick mention. Furion has capabilities to wear all the weapons. He can wear everything. He's got good abilities. His enhancements in the future are going to make him even a bigger powerhouse when he gets his killer effects enhanced and his abilities enhanced so that they do more ignored damage, like 50% for 25%, which is a big jump. It's 25% increase into reducing the defense, which is massive. Okay, so Furion, nothing has changed as far as we've seen from the data mine. Everything looks so as it was before. So Furion is pretty good. All right. Next, we're gonna go into big booty Guy. Guy is like a warrior type of dude. He can be used as like a tank, like a little bit of a damage dealer. His TM is pretty good. It's attack 10%, hit points 30%. It's definitely better than the other TMs you have right now. Amaranth has a 30% hit points boost, plus you can craft 10% attack. Is this better? Absolutely, because it's combining two TMs into one. So this TM is definitely worth, like, if you're gonna farm it, I would say it's worth farming it. Is it a priority TM? Probably not. You can probably do without it, but it will help you out. 10% attack, 30% hit points. You make your damage dealers do more damage, plus they're gonna stay alive longer. Growth pattern, leveling things. His stats are actually pretty okay for being a 3-star. I don't want people to argue and say like, oh, but yeah, he's not that good. Well, for what he is, he's a 3-star unit. He's pretty good. All right, his abilities here, nothing, no resistances naturally. He's got an okay selection of weapons. He gets daggers, swords, axes, maces, spears, claws, shields, hats, helmets, cloth, chainmail, and accessories. So he's got a pretty good variety of things. He's not going to be very hard to gear. Limit Burst is a 270% single target, one hit earth physical attack. It's not that bad. Just a single hit, big hit, that's it. So in his kit, he naturally has draw attacks. So if you don't have a tank, or if you're a new player and you haven't had any other characters that have draw attacks, this would be a good chance for you to get like a mini tank to help you kind of progress through the story and maybe beat some of the early bosses. He's not the best tank, but if you do not have Titan to 2-star and have Provoke, this dude will help you out to make sure that only one target is getting hit by attack. So because he's got good options for gear, you can put a bunch of hit point gear on him and some defense gear on him to make sure that he can not die, and make sure you can just keep healing him so that you can keep all the focus on him. He gets a chance to get this draw attack. It increases the target chance by 1.5%. It's not the greatest, but it'll still help you out a little bit. He's got another move, Full Power, 160% AoE hit physical, so that's not bad. Nature's Aid, he cures only himself with Poison, Blind, or Silence, which is good. Because these are abilities, even if he gets silenced, he can still do this. Hit points buff again, which is good for him if you want to use him as a little bit of a tank. This here is called Hit Point Stroll. For every time when you're walking around in an exploration, every 3 steps he ends up getting 5 life back. So if he's almost dead when you're walking, the more you walk, the more life he'll get back. So that's not bad. Another ability called Beat Down, 200% single target hit physical attack. That's alright. He's got Clutch Factor, 50% attack after hit point drops below 50%, and he gets 50% defense after hit point drops 50%. So he gets a 50% attack and hit point and defense boost when his hit points drops below 50%, which is not that bad, especially for like a tank. So the only question I would wonder about this is, but this is something like on like a code level or like a programming level on this character, is that let's say the character has full life and he gets hit with this huge attack. You know, let's say he's got 5,000 life and he gets hit for 3,000, okay? So the first 2,000, like 2,500 should be normal damage, but the last 500, which would put him under 50%, does that have an application of the 50% defense like buff on it, right? That's something you could take into consideration. Again, I don't know how much you could use this character, so it might not be worth to go into that to find out whether it's worth it or not. Gets attack boost by 10% as well, then another defense boost later on, and then his final thing, which I think is pretty good, he gets a move called Full Break, where he ends up full breaking the whole unit. So he could be your mini tank with Full Break. And if you don't need a mini tank, you can have a Full Break unit. He is a 3-star, very easy to get. I'm assuming you're going to be getting tons of him in this banner, so don't hesitate, jump on it, pick him up, alright? For a full break unit at least, and it's 14 MP to get a full break, so it's not like, you know, Rain where you have to use all these crazy things and he doesn't have he's got a terrible mana pool. Alright, so this is pretty good. He's a decent unit for a 3-star full break unit. He's a very good unit, especially if you're new. This will be he'll be very beneficial for you. Alright, so if you do pulls, I mean, like, you're not gonna be disappointed getting Guy, and if you don't get Guy, you're probably gonna get Furion, which I think both of those guys as 3-star units are gonna be very satisfying. So stick around, I'll be doing the pulls, and then we can chat about that a little bit more when I get them and what I'm going to do with them. Alright, so our friend Guy, I think he's pretty good, so we're going to leave it at that. Pretty good. Alright, so here we go. Leon. Leon is a Dark Knight. They call him a Fell Knight, and I'm confused about it. I'm very confused. I don't know what they're trying to say. Here it's Leon Hart, but with us it's Leon. So what it is with him, his TM is called, I think it's called Dark Knight's Soul or something like that is what they're calling it. But essentially what it is you get a 30% attack boost when you have a sword equipped, and you'll get an additional 20% attack if you have heavy armor equipped. So you don't have to have both on, it's a and situation. So and or, like if you have a sword on but you don't have the armor, you'll only get a 30% attack boost. So the question at hand about his TM, whether it's gonna be amazing or if it's just gonna be does it stack? If it stacks on global, then this is gonna be just like Blade Mastery for some units, like units who can wear heavy armor and a sword. This is gonna be like Blade Mastery for them. You can put 4 of these TMs on them, and they're gonna be doing 50% damage times 3 or 4 essentially. So you're looking at 200% extra damage if it stacks. But I'm seeing people posting like, oh yeah, you should, this is a perfect TM for somebody like Noctis. Yeah, well, sorry buddy, unfortunately it's not. Noctis can't wear heavy armor. So if you really wanted to take advantage of that, well, there is a way. You would have to put, Furion's TM on there as well. So you only have a slot for 3, so he would get a boost of 150% damage, which technically is not that bad. And, you know, without testing, I don't really know how high it's gonna get. But it's still a possibility, right? And the reason characters like Noctis and like Randy are like primary targets for a TM like this is because naturally in their personal kit, they get a boost when they wear a sword, right? So when you have a character like that, you get the 120 or 150% or 200% plus what they would get naturally in their kit, because all of these would technically stack. So this TM and this dude has the potential of being like what we have as Shizuru right now for sword users, especially if the sword user uses things like heavy armor, right? So as people like Gilgamesh, I think Bards can wear it too, I'm not 100% sure, Randy and stuff like that. Like those guys have a lot of potential. Even more so, if you really want to think about this, this is an amazing TM, whichever way you look at it, for Furion. Even if they don't stack, this is a very good one for Furion, because Furion can wear heavy armor, and he's got amazing boosts from wearing swords. So that's pretty cool. All right. So, anyways, I kind of wanted to spend a little bit more time talking about his TM because I think this TM has a potential of being amazing. Growth pattern is the same. He's a 4-star going to 5-star only. I don't know if he gets a 6-star yet, since this is a Japanese version. He doesn't get a 6-star. Not yet, at least. He might get one later. Who knows? His overall stats are underwhelming. They're not meh. Like, he's very squishy. His stats are very squishy, and it makes him look like he's exactly what he's supposed to be, which is a Dark Knight. Dark Knight have very low hit points, and they're supposed to hit really, really hard. Like, that's not hitting very, very hard. So this Fell Knight ordeal might just be like a lower level Dark Knight. I don't know what it is. But yeah, anyways. Resistances, nothing naturally. 4 stars, nothing. His ability for equipment is daggers, swords, bows, axes, pole arms, light shields, heavy shields, hats, helmets, light chainmail or whatever I think it is. Is that what it is? I don't even know what this is. Whatever that is. Heavy armor. And accessories. So, like, yeah, it's not bad. Affinity for magic. He's got affinity for black magic. Level 2 and level 3. So when he becomes a 5-star, he can have level 3 affinity for black magic. His limit burst is okay. I like it. I think this would be very cool for arena, just to kind of mess with people. But it gives you 250% AoE, 1-hit dark physical attack, and has a 40% chance of confusing the enemies, which is really high. And then if you max it out, you can get 59% chance of confusing all the enemies. So if you have this guy's limit burst maxed out, you can pretty much confuse the whole party, where they kind of sit there and probably kill themselves. If you have more, like let's say you have 2 of these guys and you end up doing it, you have a chance of keeping them confused and they end up killing themselves. That would be hilarious. So a good troll limit burst for PvP, I'd say. Alright, so into his abilities. He's got 150% single target, 1-hit physical attack. It's not that bad, especially for the MP cost. It's not the biggest hitting move, but for being the MP and what it is, this is pretty good. He's opening up a gateway for new players for having a decent hitting character right from the get-go, okay? If you pull him. He gets a boost in attack, he gets a boost in defense by 20%, which is great. He also has AoE, 190% AoE, 1-hit dark physical attack. Not bad again. Very good for new players. If you pull him, this is going to be a benefit. You'll definitely enjoy his company because he can clear clumps of enemies. He can clear a single target enemy. Pretty good. He's got a move called Hypnosis where he has a 30% chance of confusing that character. That's cool. He's got Darkness Charge, 200% attack per usage, 400 max until next action, damage taken plus 50%. So this is kind of like boost for like the monk type of characters, where he gets he increases his attack. He can technically only do it 2 times because it gets 400 max, so you can boost twice. But you boost, you end up taking plus 50% extra damage. So when he is at 400, that means this would technically be at 100%. So he takes twice the damage, but he'll be dealing 400% damage on the next action. So next action could mean this. It doesn't say next normal attack. So you can boost this to 400% and then hit something like this, and you're going to be technically doing 690% extra damage, right? So something to play with. I don't know its functionalities yet because I don't have this character, but this is a very interesting move. If you can keep him out of danger for 2 turns, you can make him hit really, really hard, right? So he's got that potential. Then he gets a hit points boost. He also gets Barrage. Barrage is definitely one of the top tier moves. It was and still is a top tier move. You're going to hear a lot of people saying it's not useful. Well, if you are a whale and you got all these amazing moves, then yeah, Barrage is not very good for you anyways. However, for challenges and things that are still out prior to where Barrage was good, it still is good, especially if you don't have those other moves, which I don't expect you to have. If you're a new player, you're not gonna have that. So don't get discouraged when you're watching like people's videos who've been playing for a little while and they say, oh, Barrage, oh my god, this is stupid. Maybe to them it is, but for you as a new player or even an average middle player and you still got challenges to clear and stuff like that, this is still a very good move. Having this on a character like this is still very beneficial. So I would say this is a top tier move still. It still will help you out, especially if you're new. You're going to benefit from it. So enjoy the move. He's got an ability called War Plans. He gets a 30% attack and 20% defense boost when equipped with a sword. Wow, which means his own TM will help him out. Hell yeah. If he wears his own TM plus this, he's gonna get inherently, because we got 50%, if you're wearing the heavy armor that he can wear, He gets the 50% plus the 30%. Hell yeah, girl. And then he gets an additional 20% defense, which is pretty good for him. Now, the question would be is if he had 2 swords, does it stack? Oh. Anyways, next is Maverick. 160% single, 1-hit physical attack. And he gets a self buff for 50% increased attack. Amazing. I would hit with this first. It's 3 turns. I'll go 1, hit, next turn, buff. That's 2 turns. And then the 3rd turn, pick up a move and then just do it crazy. Then he's got the Phantom, which is just like Chizuru's attack, technically, I'm assuming. It does 2 times 160% area physical damage. So you can do buff at 50%, then use this move and just eat people. Very cool, very cool. So he's got a very nice kit. If you pull this character, I would say you should be very happy. Especially if you're new, even mid-tier, and you don't have any good damage dealers. This guy could have potential for doing some interesting damage. He is not fully hybrid. He does do some dark physical damage, which is kind of like hybrid damage, but he does have physical ones, and he's got physical up here as well that are straight out physical, so you don't have to use the element if you don't want to. So he's got potential for doing some crazy damage. All right. So again, future enhancements are going to end up making him a lot stronger. Like Phantom ends up doing 200% for each strike. So, you know, technically you end up doing 400% damage because 200, right? And then his war plan also ends up getting a boost where he will get the boost for wearing, equipping with a sword, and will have the ability to cast this move, which will give, it's a single target, 60 hit points heal with a 1.2 times multiplier per turn. And he gets a 30% hit points boost. So this is very interesting. It makes this low life over here like very meh, because you can cast this to buff yourself, or sorry, not cast. You will have this inherently anyways. So you end up getting a 30% hit points boost as well. So you get 30% attack, 20% defense, 30% hit points. So in the future, Leon is going to be a pretty interesting cat. He's going to be very cool. It's going to be a nice catch. So overall, do I think the banner is worth it? I think so. Emperor is a very good mage. Guy is not that bad over a 3-star unit. If you don't have Furion right now, I feel bad for you, son, but you should probably get Furion because he's definitely going to be able to help you out. And as far as Leon goes, again, his TM is amazing. You should definitely end up getting at least one of them. Again, I'm not trying to tell you go spend all your stones, as Orlando could be here tomorrow. We don't know. But the banner itself is not that bad. You know, I would rank it up in the better banners that we've gotten over the last little while. The characters definitely have a lot of potential to be useful for you, even if you're new, and their TMs are still definitely something that you can farm later on. The one thing I want to make sure you guys are aware before we finish off this movie is that these characters are not exclusive to this banner, which means that like Guy, Leon, and those guys, you're gonna get them from now till whenever you end up deciding to quit. If you never quit, you're going to probably get many of them, especially Guy. He's a 3-star. You're probably getting a lot. Furion, you'll probably be getting a lot as well. The only really big catch here that you are going to have a higher chance of getting is Emperor. So if you really want Emperor, if you don't have Dark Fina or X-Death and you wanted a strong mage, this is the dude. But I would wait and definitely come back and visit Reddit or any of those things like the day of the summoning to find out to see if they changed anything. And if he does debuff his party, or if he debuffs the monsters, or whatever the case might be. But overall, I'll be pulling a little bit on the banner. If you want to wait till you see my video, you'll probably be seeing it Friday morning to see how the luck is and you know what happens. All right. So if you liked my video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see something or want me to talk about something else, please let me know in the comment section below. I do remember somebody saying that they wanted to talk about Emperor a little bit more. If I do get Emperor, I will do a full analysis on him. If I don't get him, I might end up making a video just talking about, I think about him and Leon, where we'll break them apart. And after I do a little bit of research, when people actually test what kind of TMs we can have on them, do TMs stack, and etc. So I will do that as a follow-up probably next week once we get more information and we get some whales actually getting the TMs. Alright, thank you so much for sticking around. This is Vorty, and I will see you in the next video, boys and girls. Peace!